All right, thanks everyone for being here. We'll open up today's press conference. Third row right, Dylan Davis. Dylan, where is that?
Well, on Saturday, you talked about an identity starting to forge for your team. I guess how would you characterize that identity? And is it normal that it takes this long for an identity?
Well, I think our team, has had an identity from the get-go. I think on offense, you're starting to see it forge itself a little bit more on the offensive side of the ball, probably. But this team plays hard, plays physical, great leadership, and on offense, I think you just see in the combination of the run game and the ball in the perimeter. When you have all the weapons back, and now Kyle's got a bunch of games under his belt. Offensive line, is making progress every week. So I think all that comes into play.
Right, when you reevaluate the offensive line right now and watch the Donovan Smith, is he playing his best football right now? And where have you seen the most growth from him from last year to start this year?
Yeah, I think so. He's graded champion here the last couple of weeks, and everyone's looking to play their best football now. But it's a combination of run game and pass game that you have to be able to do both. And it's different when you have two guys on both sides of you there. It's just the combination blocks, the communication, how you handle movement in the pass game, how you handle movement in the run game. So I think a little bit of it's that, a little bit of it's just, now he's into his next year of maturity. He's seen a lot more, and we're going to need him to play really well down the stretch.
To the struggles of the offensive line early in the year that you had two starters back, but both of them were surrounded by each side of them a new guy.
I don't know. I think there was probably a lot of things that along the journey that has taken us to where we are right now. But I know that anytime if somebody new next to you, there's an adjustment phase there. But I do think that they're more and more comfortable every single time they're out there. And now that we're into November, they've got a good body of work under their belt. So now we're expecting them to go play the best.
Ryan, you guys ran that step back set with Chip and Xavier on the backfield on Saturday. Just what benefit does that give you? I mean, I guess obviously now you're healthier, so you play Chip and have Trey come off the bench. How much of a benefit does it give you to play hard? You can do a little bit of both Chip and Antoinette.
Yeah, those guys can do multiple things, and anytime you see that, boy, it can bring a lot of different variables to the table. You look at the way that Cade's running routes and blocking and protection. Same thing with G. Scott. You're seeing the receivers get involved with the run game. You're seeing multiple receivers carry the ball. You saw Marvin carry the ball. You've seen X carry the ball. You've seen Emeka carry the ball. And you're seeing Trey line up as a receiver at times. I mean, all those things help you when you're trying to attack a defense when they can do multiple things.
Because usually if you run route, you're gonna have him. How much of a benefit is that, knowing his versatility, but you can have him in the back of the runner as well?
Yeah, no, he's a mismatch in a lot of different areas, and that's our job as coaches to put him in those situations and try to find creative ways to get those matchups. But ultimately, it comes down to blocking and taking care of the football and executing. But anytime we can put these guys in situations like that, that kind of like I think the one you're talking about is the throw down the sideline there, and kind of got set up after a couple of runs that way. And so the guys put it on the field well, did a good job protecting it, and they did a nice job there. And if you watch the film, I think Marvin was double covered there, so that really opened up Xavier on the linebacker.
Going back to when you first saw Kyle as a recruit, what about him did you like? What stood out from the get-go that made you want to offer him? Yeah,
you saw his productive play on the field. You saw his size, his arm strength, intelligence. He just had a good way of leadership with the players. The guys in his class, he was the first one to jump on board, and then brought a lot of guys with him. Once he got in the building, he was with Marv and Emeka in here on the drawing board right away, learning the offense and getting involved, throwing with those guys. Great work ethic. So all of those things, led to it.
10 games this season as a starter and come off a game like he had last week. Is there anything that can help with confidence, just seeing the ball guys just go through the hoop in the game that he had on Saturday.
Yeah. I think every time you're out there, you gain more and more confidence because it's not new anymore, and then it slows down. So I think the last couple of games started out finding the speed of the game really well, much more efficient early on, and that's led us to get certainly this last game getting good momentum. And then I thought it was great to get a 2-minute drive going, at the end of the first half.
Traits that you saw in him as a recruit started to maybe show up more and more.
I think so. Yeah, I think you're starting to see that more and more. Yes.
Devin Brown got hurt during warm-ups. How's he coming along? Luke injury got that right, but how's he coming along?
He's all right. Just a bit of a setback there in the warm-ups, but hoping to see he get back on the field this week and survive warm-ups.
Good news. Yeah, there you go. Good news, I guess, is Lincoln was able to get in there and get his feet wet. I know it was very small sample size. What'd you see out of Lincoln?
Just in a couple snaps he was out there, it didn't look too big for him. I just thought he belonged. He's still trying to figure it all out. He got an earful for the first time on the field after one of the plays, which was good. He had an answer. I liked it. He came right back with why he did what he did. But we'll see. It's just a start. But it was just good to see him out there getting some plays under his belt, and there was some good plays he had out there.
I wanted to clarify on Lathan. Is he out for the season, or is there still a chance he could come back?
There's a chance he can come back, this year. But it doesn't look like it's going to be any time in the next couple of weeks.
Mike Hall, he only played a series on the game. Was that injury related, or what's his status?
I don't really have an update on Mike right now.
Pat Murphy, 24/7 Sports.
Ryan, I know the last couple of games you've gotten production from other guys, but as Emeka has worked his way back, are you seeing what you need to see from him, or is he still kind of recovering from that injuries? The statistics haven't been what they were before he got.
He's getting stronger and stronger each week. We decided to hold him in the second half to continue that progress, but he's getting as closer every week to being 100. And the feedback I got this week was that he feels better this week than he did last week, and that's the goal. Look more explosive on film in this past game, and so we'll keep bringing him along. Everything that our folks say here is just keep pushing him, keep getting that thing stronger, keep working, and he's getting stronger every single week. So, hopefully we take another step this week, and we're as close as we can to 100%.
As you go through that list of guys that have been contributing, Kane, Travion, obviously Marvin, I assume he fits right in with that group when he can be his normal self.
Oh yeah. No, I think Emeka is one of the best receivers in the entire country, and his production proves it. So yeah, I mean we are a different offense when he's in the game.
You guys gave Matthew Jones a series or two at center the other day. What went into that decision? I don't think he's ever played center in a game before. So what did you want to get a look at there?
I forget if he had or not. I don't remember, but I know we worked him at center at times, and we just felt like at that time it was good to get him some work at center and just get Enoch in the game. What that looked like in a game. We had a pretty comfortable lead at that point. Felt like it was good to do. Evaluated it, and then there was some good snaps there. So, it's always good to kind of, in an opportunity like that, go see, if we needed to make a change, what that would look like.
I guess along those lines, you said the offensive line continues to make progress. What is your evaluation of the center position, specifically with Carson? Because it seems like maybe his progression is a little farther behind the rest of that group.
I think he's the youngest. So, he's probably made, from where he started to where he is now, he's made certainly a bunch of progress, but he's also the youngest. So, he's in here every day. He's busting his tail to get better. And, he's handled some difficult environments, so far this year as a redshirt freshman. So, we think that he's got a very bright future ahead of him, and he's got to continue to get stronger and better across the board. His communication, all those things. So every time he's out there, it's an investment in his future.
The idea of playing that is there any thought there that maybe you'd want to move to that level full time, or are you comfortable with your normal starting product?
Yeah, right now we're going to continue to move forward as we have. But every week we're evaluating to see what gives us the best chance to win. So, But as of right now, we're going to continue to where we're at right now.
Ryan, with the idea that you need to be playing your best in November, is your offense doing that right now? And where are they in relation to what you envisioned before the season?
I think that the first half you saw, some efficient play and finished drives, third downs, red zone. I thought there was some very well executed plays. I thought the reverse to Marvin was really well executed. I thought there was just a bunch of plays protection wise that gave Kyle some time. The timing, the throws were pretty high level. The second touchdown to Marvin was a throw and catch was excellent. Travion stepped up in a big way and helped the protection. He did a nice job on 2 or 3 of the plays. Actually, 2 of the touchdown passes to Marvin, he did a really nice job in protection. And that was the most excited guy on the field, which goes to show you his unselfishness and how he's getting better every game as an all-purpose player. But I mean, I think you see what we're capable of, and it was good to see us play a full half right there and play and execute, and again finish with the 2-minute drive there. So all those things are encouraging at this point.
Coach, Saturday, obviously, game against Minnesota, another chance to remain undefeated, but it's also a chance to honor some of the players who won't be coming back next year. What have the seniors, fifth years, graduates all meant to you during the time here at Ohio State?
Well, a good portion of them, started when I that first year when I became the head coach, and so they've been just soldiers along the way, and mean so much to me and my family, to the staff, to the university. So I try to tell those guys all the time, when we have home games, don't wait till the last one to take it all in. Starts from that first home game of your senior year. So I hope they've taken that advice. But when you have your last game there's a lot of emotions. So the good news is they got a team that's playing with confidence. There's leadership that they've shown, and they have an opportunity to really leave a legacy behind here over the next month. So happy that they're going to get recognized in that moment, and they deserve it.
So a year ago, losing someone like maybe at this stage of the season would seem pretty devastating. Not that you guys won't miss him this year too, but there also seems to be a start here where you can maybe absorb that a little bit better. And how much of what you kind of tasked Perry and Tim with doing this past offseason was getting this defensive back group at this point, and how you feel like they accomplished that?
Well, I think you evaluate everything at the end of the season, but everybody's responsible to make sure that they have production at their position and then depth along the way. You can't go pick anybody off waivers in college football, so you have to build depth. And there's a bunch of different ways to do that. But a big part of it is development. And certainly we're going to miss Lathan, but our guys are confident, with the guys in the room, and so we're just going to forge forward with the guys that we have and challenge those guys to play at a high level.
Sonny has done a lot of things, good things for you in that nickel position when he goes to the ball. Just as someone from an offensive standpoint, looking at him, how can he also still help you guys a lot at Bandit or late in his hands?
Yeah, he's got a lot of versatility and can do many things, but it's going to be important for the other guys to step up in those areas where where does he fit in, and you just have to feel good at all the other spots back there, and then Sonny can take on a lot of responsibility, but we also want to make sure that he's playing fast and doing a great job. So we don't want to overload him, but at the same time he can do a lot, and that's important for the guys around him to make sure that they're playing at championship level.
Ryan, his first last weekend with Joby now, and can't even miss the game. Just where's Jelani at as far as kind of his development?
Well, we got to make sure that if he flashes a first down, he actually gets it. So that's the first coaching point for Jelani. And so I think Coach Bailey said, okay, it's enough of that, Jelani. Let's just catch the ball and hand the ball to the official. So that was the first coaching point. But it was great to see him out there. You can see his athleticism, size, power. You can see him, he's got really good hands. He's got a very bright future ahead of him. He understands that the tight end position is a developmental position, but he's put a year in now. So, he's going to get to the point where he's going to get on the field here real soon. And the talent is there. And if he continues on the same path that he's on, he's going to have a special career here at Ohio State.
And You said Tommy was week to week. How's he look for this week in the draft market?
Expecting to have a good week of practice for both of those guys, and we'll have a better idea as we get towards the end of the week.
Ryan, are senior day decisions binding in this era with COVID years and everything? We've seen, Josh participate in the past. Like, is that actually going to be the way it looks like, or if they make a decision to walk, they can still retain that option?
Yeah, they can. If they're eligible, then we certainly allow them the option to do it, and then kind of go from there. Like you said, it's, I guess, a lot different than a decade.
Everything's complicated in your position, but in terms of managing roster numbers and decisions in this time of year, everybody's trying to weigh that. Like, how clear is the picture for you, or not? With what I know, you want to win on Saturday first and foremost, but
Right.
you always have to keep an eye on the future. How difficult is that for you right
now? There's a lot of things in the balance, I would say, but you just try to plan ahead and make sure you have contingency plans in place. Whether it's high school recruiting, whether it's portal, those type of things, and so I think the rules have made it such that you should be able to now adjust pretty quickly based on some of the legislation that's been passed. So Mark's working hard to make sure we have everything planned and ready for that. But our focus, as you know, is right now in this game and preparing for Minnesota and continuing to build on the confidence that this team is playing with right now. But certainly there's a lot of folks working on that here in-house to make sure that when December comes, we're ready to roll.
For the record, folks, we'll put out a release later in the week, Friday, somewhere around there, of the guys that'll be walking on Saturday. Barry, or BNS.
Coach Marvin Harrison for Heisman, you think he's deserving, and what does he mean to this ball club?
I think I've said it before that Heisman Trophy goes to the most outstanding player in the country. I know there's a lot of great players out there. I get to see him every day. I think he's the most outstanding player in the country. And he's, right from the jump, came in with a work ethic that really is transcended throughout the whole team. Just what he's done and now his production as well. So he wants to be great. I know that. You can just tell it, and his actions back that up. And certainly his production speaks for itself on the field and what he's doing, and he makes everybody on that field better.
In Minnesota, obviously the number one goal is to win the game, but there's just 2 games to go in the regular season. How important is it? What do you want to see out of your club, I guess, as far as just everything on point?
Just continuing to build on confidence, and our second goal of the season. First goal is to win the first one. Second goal is to win the next 10. So we have to complete that goal here on Saturday, and we have to stay focused on that. And that's the bottom line. Have to play really hard, really fast, really physical, like we did this past Saturday. And PJ does a really good job. Minnesota is well coached. I really respect what PJ does as a coach and their program and their culture, and they're going to come in here and play really hard. So we have to match that. And it's a Big Ten road or a Big Ten game here in November, and so we have to do a great job of preparing for it like any other game. It has no bearing what's coming down the future. We got to be on point right now and continue to build on our future, and that's it. So starts with Tuesday today. We'll have a team meeting here at 2:30, and we'll get back to work.
You like a rah-rah quarterback, very, I don't know, prefer the composure of maybe a Kyle McCord, and do you try to pass it along, just given what they have to navigate those 2 seconds between playing or playing?
Yeah, I think every quarterback has to, like being a golfer, you have to carry different clubs in your bag. And sometimes you have to have that composure. Sometimes you got to bark. Sometimes you got to put your arm around somebody. There's always different parts of the game that you have to be able to utilize the right skill set. And to say, well, I lead this way, well, that's a cop out. You have to be able to, handle situations and people differently. But at the same time, you have to be yourself. You can't be someone else. And I think that's, that's what we communicate to our players in terms of their leadership.
You said in Skull Session on Saturday, it's been a long road back to November. You've talked about stars in the past. Obviously, the goal is to win the first game of the next 10 and then beat that team. I'm curious, how much are you guys talking about right now that you are here? This is everything you worked for since you walked off the field.
Yeah, no, we talk about it. We have the last, since we entered in November, we know that we want to be playing our best football in November, and you can go through the season where the days seem long, the weeks go by real fast, and then here you are at the end of the season. And so urgency has to be at an all-time high. We know we got to be on point, and we got to be playing our best right now. And I think the guys feel that, they understand that, and we got to be better than everybody else in the country of just focusing on maximizing ourselves, doing a great job preparing for Minnesota, and ignoring everything else that comes around what this time of year is like.
You talk about wanting to play your best football in November a lot. Have you felt like in your time here that Ohio State has done that you've been at your best in November? And was there anything, I don't know, that you thought about this past offseason to say, hey, we really want to make sure that we're, ascending at the end? Did you change anything that you feel like is coming to fruition now?
I feel like we have, but I also feel every year, just, your messaging, you evaluate things, just, how you want to messaging it to the team, that it is a build as the season goes on. And I think the guys can feel that. It's been clearly communicated that way, that we've got to build every week, and that momentum, and it kind of snowballs over time, the consistency of everything that you're doing on a daily basis, so that we're at our best at the end of the season. And so it's just been a messaging point to the team, something that we can tangibly like almost grab onto, that hey, we're getting better every week, and we know we got to be at our best at the end of the season, because that's when it matters the most.
You were asked, Bill asked you about Heisman. Josh Simmons has actually been here last time. Obviously, he's played at San Diego State last year. Seems like he's developing some, progressing some. I want to get your assessment of where he is right now.
Yeah, no, he's certainly is progressing. You can see the talent. When some unbelievable clips, just feet, power, hands, it's all there. And so it's every week it's coming together a little bit more for him. And same thing, just like a quarterback, it starts to slow down, all the different things that go on, and so he can be as good as he wants to be.
We want to get to 7:00 on Saturday. And what will that be like?
I think, the first thing is, when you start to get ahead of yourselves, you lose focus on right now. And I think that's the challenge, is making sure you stay in the moment, because there's nothing you can do other than maximize right now. And that's what we're going to do. And when 7:00 comes on Saturday, 7:00 will come, and we'll go from there.
Ryan, after the game, you mentioned how was a guy who flashed. Watching that tape, what other players flashed you?
I thought Jermaine Matthews again, got his hand on the ball, ran down on special teams, did a good job there. It was good to see Jelani make that catch. It was good to see Lincoln, handle himself well. Trying to think of who else. Malik Harford. For his first start, I thought, did some really good things. Great out of champion. That was great. I'd say those are probably the guys that stick out right offhand.
Stealing possessions, can that be on third down defense too? Do you feel like that's going to help this offense hit its stride recently?
Yeah, I think when you're playing complementary football, you're getting off the field, and the offense is getting down and finishing drives. I mean, that's when you're working at full capacity. And third down is a huge part of the game. And when you're getting off the field and forcing punts and giving the offense good field position, that's the difference between winning and losing.
Philosophically, you guys are a month away from signing the early signing period. There's a ton of things going on around the program, game week preparation, all that. How hard is it as a staff to keep on top of every little blip on the recruiting trail with kids, random tweets, kids taking visits elsewhere? Like, how much conversation are you guys having about it? How do you handle it as a staff with those players?
Yeah, just communication is the key, and that's the other thing is, this time of year and all year, you have to communicate, even though you're in the teeth of the season. It's important that you win. I mean, that's huge, but you also have to be communicating and making sure that you're on top of all the recruiting part of it. Because what I've learned is, in November, and then as you get into December, as you get closer to the signing period, there's a lot of twists and turns along the way, and so you just have to be steady, but obviously constant and really, really good in communication.
Saturday, was there any thought to getting Lincoln in the game earlier? If Devin was ready to go, would he have been in there? Because it seemed like he took out a lot of the weapons at the 10-minute mark of the third quarter, but left Kyle on the starting offensive line out there. Was that because the backup quarterback situation was different on Saturday, or was there any thought about putting Lincoln out there at that point?
Yeah, probably. You don't know what you're going to get till you go out there, and it was probably midway through the third quarter. Like there was a lot of football left. At that point, we hadn't had Lincoln in the game, so we didn't know what that was going to look like. So we decided to probably hang on a little bit longer, and then we started that drive. And then after we got a couple first downs, decided it was the right time to put Lincoln in the game. If Devin was available, he probably would have been in the game a little bit sooner.
You had the third down pass.
Yes. Yes.
Tim May on 3 and the Tim May podcast.
Thank you, Jerry. Are you guys North America's team? Or y'all Buckeye Nation's team? Or y'all Ohio's team? Whose team are y'all?
It's a good question. I think I can tell you this, that our guys, and I think someone said it before about just it's been a long road to get to November, and each team has its own identity. Each team has its own dynamics, has its own journey, and so here we are, in November. And I can tell you this, coming to work every day with these guys, I mean, the consistency, the maturity, the competitiveness, the look in their eye. This is a great team to be around. Great guys. And, I go back to this. It's about these guys on the team. It's about the guys that put on the line every single Saturday, on the game and put the work in here. And so, we're going to do it again this week and keep swinging.
Like Saturday, did you feel like like you go in a restaurant sometimes, there are all these things on the menu, but you can't go there because you don't have that. They don't have that in stock right now. Did you feel like you were looking at as close to a full menu? We asked you a little bit about this after the game, but what is that like for you to have those options available to you? Do you have to control yourself? Let's focus on this. Let's get the two back look in there. You know what I mean? How do you approach those kind of things, right?
Well, I think the first thing is you have to make sure you're doing what's best for the team to win the game. That's got to be the first thing. That has to be the focus because, like you said, sometimes you can get yourself spread real thin and out of whack and out of rhythm. So you have to find that rhythm. And then you try to find different ways that can put the defense in stress. You heard me say that before. And then set things up along the way by putting guys in a position to be successful and identifying what guys do really well. And that's really what it comes down to. But at the same time, not sacrificing, the team. Like even at the end of the first half there, it was 3rd and 7, and we threw a bubble screen to Marv. And if we don't get that, we punt, but we got it. And then it was like, okay, we're going to shift this thing to the next gear and go, and we're a down score. At that point, I think it was 28-3. Would have been a good halftime score, and then come out in the second half and play. But so you always have to make sure that you're being aggressive, you're attacking, but you're going to do what's best for the team first.
Unless at this point in the year, 10-0, what is keeping you up at night? I don't even know if you sleep much at night. Maybe you do, but is it players in? Is it bringing guys online? Are they up to it? Is it a guy not coming off a double team who could have popped maybe on there? Coming off the goal line on that one play. You're saying these mistakes. Is it coaching jobs are coming open around the country right now? You've got a staff that people probably like to tap. Is it all of that? I mean, and are you getting much sleep at this point?
Well, it's like they say, when some people rest, you stay restless, and I think that's it. You got to continue to work at all of these. There's so many things going on, and that's our job. Is to, constantly do everything you can to maximize what you have, and communicate really well, and get the issues fixed that need to get addressed. And that's it. And that's it. And then when it's time to go play, we get on the field. But each week has its new set of challenges. Every year has its new set of issues. and you just deal with them the best you possibly can and bust your tail. So, by the time you get to Friday night and you get to bed before the game, I mean, yeah, you're exhausted because, you've just burned the midnight oil, making sure that you do everything you possibly can to win the game. Thanks.
Hi, Dave. Oh, I thought you were waving. Thought you were waving at me.
All right. We will open up the floor with Dave Biddle, 24/7 Sports.
If Mike is unable to go this week, there's some other D tackles that can step up. In addition to Ty Leak and Ty, like Hero Kanu, for example, there's some guys that might step up.
Yeah, I think Hero has made a lot of progress. He really has. He made a big play last week, down stop on a running play. So, he's a guy I look at. You know, Jaden McKenzie's got a lot of experience too. You know, so he's got that experience that you need to be able to count on in a tough situation.
Nathan Baird, Cleveland.com.
Can we talk a lot about the attributes that made him such a good fit at nickel? What can make him equally strong at bandit if he's playing there for Layton the rest of his way? And does he give you anything that Layton didn't?
You know, Lathan had really gotten better. You know, he was getting better all the time. I feel terrible for him to be out right now. But Sonny, he's taller. I mean, you know, he has range. He has a lot of experience. You know, we were able to gain him that cover experience at the nickel position, covering a slot in the open field, which is a difficult thing to do, you know, as that translates into the boundary. I think he's just got a lot of versatility. Made some plays last game blitzing for us, right? So I think he could be a real factor in the blitz game also.
Secondary, better setup. As much as you miss Layton, is it better setup? So a loss like this at this stage of the season than it was a year ago?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's, you know, Lathan's a part of it. He's a part of us. But yeah, we're better set up. We have more versatility and more experience. And guys just understand the system so they can fit in different places.
Far left, Joe Nugent, WCA.
What have you noticed about Minnesota's commitment to run the ball? What's the challenge of facing a team that just wants to throw it away?
Yeah, similar to Rutgers. They do a great job managing the drives, you know, and, you know, taking it down all the way to what, 4th and short. And I think they're the best 4th down conversion team in the country. You know, they stole that play from my Eagles. You know, they do that tush push thing. You know, but we got burnt on that Ruski too after that. So you got to be careful. But yeah, I just think they do a good job of managing the game, controlling the ball, taking the play clock down. So we have to stay efficient, stay ahead of the sticks.
Jay, it looks like Jihad Carter was back on the field defensively. With Lathan out right now. I know Sonny's there, but does it help to have the depth of Jihad too?
Yes, because Sonny's is going to have to do more things as we move forward here. So it's not going to be as simple as saying, "Okay, Sonny, you're back there, and that's where you're going to be." There's going to be some moving parts. You know, Sonny's going to have to be in other places too, as we face different sets of personnel grouping. So we need Jihad.
Birmingham.
Jim, I don't want to put any one person on the spot, but are you as disappointed in Bill Landis as I am that whenever you talk about the Eagles, he doesn't say "Go Birds"?
Yeah, I didn't want to bring it up because I didn't want to call him out, but now that you brought it up, well, I know, but he doesn't. I don't get anything.
Cody Simon obviously playing a lot in the middle on Saturday, not knowing what Tommy's situation is for this week. How comfortable are you with what you saw from Cody? Not just against another run-heavy team like Minnesota, but potentially a Saturday was an audition really for the future.
Yeah, I'm very comfortable with Cody. Cody not only plays well, but he manages the game like Tommy does. You know, he's got that kind of brain and that kind of football intelligence. So we need them both. We need them both. You know, as we come down the stretch here, we need to have the ability to put them in different places.
When you guys put Malik out there earlier this year, it didn't necessarily go as well. This time along, just when you watch him back on the film, what did you like about what Malik gave you? How more ready is he to be in that situation in that moment?
Yeah, I thought he wasn't as wide-eyed as he was the first time. I mean, that's tough for a true freshman, particularly at a safety position. There are checks involved. There are formations. There are a variety of. There are all kind of things that can happen. So, yeah, I thought he, had his emotions under control, and he's a guy that we've seen from the beginning in practice. Like he always is around the ball. And he's one of those guys in practice. If you want to see people coming up with interceptions in practice, that famous coaching thing that I'm sure you guys, men and women, have done with your kids. Catch the ball, what I mean? Like that's a coaching thing, right? Catch the ball, But he's one of those guys. Like there's certain guys, Malik has it, where he's just always around the ball in practice, and he catches the ball, So to see him now transition to actually playing the game, in all aspects, and being able to manage it from the same position, that's good for him and good for us.
Dan Hope, 11 Warriors.
It seems like Ty Hamilton is taking a step forward these last couple of weeks in terms of making more game-changing plays. Anything different from him here recently?
I haven't seen anything different. I mean, I've been trying to say it all along. I guess maybe Tyreek gets a lot of the attention and deservedly so, but I've been saying it all year long. Our defensive tackles have been making more plays in the running game that makes your defense better and makes your defense better. It's one thing for your defensive tackles to use up blocks and use up gaps. It's another thing when they're actually making tackles. So Ty's doing that too.
You guys have a conversation with Tommy and tell him that he's not going to play a game? Is he more talkative, or did he just say, "Yeah, okay"?
Yeah, Tommy fights all the time. He fights all the time. He fought to play. He could have played, but we felt it was in his best interest and our best interest that he, takes his time getting back from this injury. Yeah, so he probably had some extra grunts, last week because he couldn't play. Than his normal single grunts, he probably went to 2 or 3 grunts.
In certain statistical categories, turnovers, sacks, kind of the flashy ones. You guys are, towards the bottom of the list. But what matters is the success you've had. I'm just saying it seemed like such a change in what your reputation would suggest. And a few weeks ago, but how much of that is we've got talent, and I don't have to kind of do that stuff because I can get these guys in a position to let them play.
Right. Yeah, I think we've, like you said, we've adjusted, adapted to the talent, the situation, the program, doing what's in the best interest of the defense, the team, to win games and to produce a top 5 defense. So you're at you should have a top 5 defense. So what's a top 5 defense? Is it top 5 in those categories? Because I've been there. I've been top 5 in those categories, but I don't think we were very good. I don't know how good we were, but it was like you said, flashy, and I, it is what it is, and we need to keep working on those things um, that are working for us, to put it easy, and avoid the temptation to try to go after the flashy play and maybe
This last year and say, "Okay, we're going to make sure we don't have those kind of breakdowns. We're going to, not that it's a 1-game season, but you're gearing toward that all year."
gearing towards the matchup game, right? Coach Day always calls them the matchup game, and we've had a couple already, right? So gearing towards the matchup game where we were not successful last year, and mainly because of plays. So through a lot of study and a lot of planning, yeah, I think you're seeing the benefit of that now.
Far left, Steve.
Hey, Coach, you talked a little bit about Rutgers, how they were able to run the ball. Effectively, Michigan State came out of the gate. I think they had a 27 there in the first 2 series. But after that, you guys made some complex years, whatever it may have been. Just can you talk a little bit about how important that is at early in the game and making those changes, I guess.
Yeah, I didn't like that we gave that those plays up early. I know which ones you're talking about. Yeah, I like to say, yes, we still have the players. All the mistakes are on me on game days. It was my fault. I just started making better calls. But I mean, the adjustments in the college game are everything. Things change so much week to week, and a variety of offenses that you see and things. And then you may spend time in practice on one thing and they do something else. They're studying you while you're studying early on. Maybe they've seen a couple things that you need to fix. So the fact that we can make those adjustments successful on the field happen in real time, that's a big deal. I think it's really a key part of the success we've had.
Physicality of this front 7, for lack of a better term, just front 6.5, however you want to put it, that when you get to these matchup games, which even this week, I mean, there's going to be time we're going to have to match up them physically as well. But are you confident in going forward that's going to be there to maintain the other team's good play?
Yes. Next question.
What makes you so confident with that?
You go,
body of work.
Right. You players that all this in college football at the highest level just goes so much back to what you've done from February onward and what Coach Mick has done, all the strength in the weight room. It's real in college football because we're still in the developmental process. So you see the off season, the way the guys compete, and then you put it on film and you believe.
With the idea that you have to be playing your best ball, remember, is your defense.
I'd say so. Gave up, I think it was 2 explosive plays last game. So I would say yes, but you have to keep getting better. I mean, that's the thing again about football. I mean, it's got to always be going like this. You can't say, oh, okay, we're playing our best in November, so let's just stay at our best. It's always like if you're not moving forward, you're moving backward.
You talked about Cody stepping in, Tommy, but who handles all of the things Tommy brings that you've talked about this year when he's not on?
Cody. I mean, they have very similar football intelligence. Cody has paid attention from I've arrived here and asked questions all the time. Actually speak. Tommy grunts. I had the Cody conversation. But yeah, he's got the same kind of mind, the same football vision.
Dylan Davis, Dylan, what is that?
On Saturday, Ryan mentioned Josh was a the guy who flashed in the second half of that game. I guess what have you seen from his development in this first year?
He's focused, right? Not a big talker, good personality, but positive and a focused kid. You can coach him. He doesn't get down when he makes a bad play in practice. He's got a positive attitude, and he's fast. He's really, really fast. And that helps.
BuckeyesNow, Sports Illustrated.
Coach, I asked the same thing to Ryan Day just a little bit ago, but obviously it's not the primary objective on Saturday, getting the win. But senior day is certainly a big part of weekend against Minnesota. What have your fourth, fifth graduate year seniors meant to your defense?
Yeah, they mean everything, particularly when you come in as a new coach. It's the older guys, the veterans that if they buy into what you're saying, then you have a real chance, to get the things implemented that you need to do. So these guys have been great to me, and I have not been the easiest person to deal with, but they've been really responsive, really coachable, interested in learning, and yeah, we'll miss them.
Joey Kaufman, Almost Dispatch.
Can you talk about Tommy's personality as grunts? Is obviously not a guy, man, a few words. What effect over now that this is the second year with having your middle linebacker with that kind of personality? How has it changed the whole defensive guys?
Yeah, I think it's a good point, right? I think we've become, in large part, we've become really businesslike, really accountable, really focused. Like, not a lot of not a lot of debate. Not a lot of debate. Kind of like, here are the facts. Here's what's happening. How do we fix it? Let's go out and kick ass. Because that's how Tommy is. And you're right. It has had a big effect on everything.
Was that your ideal scenario? Is it just the way Tommy is? Or
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes if you have an ideal scenario as a coach, you end up trying to push squad one way or another. I think you see what's there, and you just leadership. You want leadership. It happens to be a certain way, and people have bought into that. They respect him, and that's just kind of how our personality has become.
Cameron T. Robinson, The Athletic.
When defenses prepare for a hostile offense, the goal is contain Marvin. But from your perspective, how just curious if you can put in context how difficult it is to slow down someone like that. He not only has skill, but has moved around and he's creative like Ryan did.
Yeah, coaching the offense and that Kyle Marvin prep pride, by the way. Okay, that whole thing is difficult to handle for me in practice. I remember one time in practice we had a bracket on him, two guys, and he went through both of them and just caught the ball. And I was like, how can that happen? We got two guys on. Well, that's Mark. And he just went over both of them and caught him. So I think it's extremely challenging for a defense. And then the creativity that coach has, and all those guys do a great job of utilizing that. And there are other players on our offense that are really good. I just think it's a difficult challenge for our defense.
It may, Joe. I'm agree.
Well, thank you very much, Jerry. You guys are number one in the nation right now in pass efficiency. Defense, number two in against the score, and number four in total defense. What does that mean to you at all? Which of those are you more proud, or do you even take stock in that at the moment?
Well, I don't take any stock in. Well, it beats not being that.
Yeah.
Right. It beats not being that. But I'd rather have that all be the way at the end of the season, right? That's when you look at statistics. But just now we're just focused on what's happening in the game. How do we get better? What do we need to do to stop them? And I always try to tell them that defense, stats, whatever, it doesn't matter. Defense is a right now proposition. Either you stop them or you don't stop them. So it's you can't punt on defense. You guys have heard me make that joke before. I've been in plenty of times in my career where I'd say, "Hey, we don't want to play. Can we punt the ball? Get out of here." So really, stats, it doesn't matter. It's like, did you stop them or not? What have you done for me lately? Wall Street thing, it's like, what have you done for me lately? That's defense. It's like, what have you done for me lately? I do think stop rate's important. Where are we at in stop rate? Does anybody know where we're at in stop rate? Yeah, I asked. What am I doing? See, you guys bait me into this stuff, Tim. You bait me into. I don't know. Yes. Yes. I think it's just good that we're doing well. It's good that we're doing well. But stop rate. When you go back and look at the end of the year, stop rate is one of them that I look at because I don't think many people understand that. But because I've been times where we've been the best sack. We sacks, third downs. We're the best in the country. But it's like the stop rate, I believe, Bill will probably tell me, boils down to did you stop them or not? Nothing else matters. It's like, did you stop them or not? And that is the ultimate of what defense is.
Do you ever address a team like coming out of Saturday or last week or whatever that, hey, you're going to face better quarterbacks? I mean, it's not putting people down, but you understand what I'm saying? You're going to face better quarterbacks down the road, basically. Do y'all talk about stuff like that?
We just talk about, we talk about where we want to be at the end of the year, and how we want to keep getting better. I think sometimes if you could say we're going to face better quarterbacks, but that was the only quarterback we were playing on that day, so how did we do? We can never get carried away with ourselves. We have to be really specific about demands, expectations, the results that come off of it. Who are we playing? What did we do? What did we do well? How can we get better?
I want to quickly, Cody and Steele are out there. Who's the next linebacker in your mind in that run? I mean,
CJ. Yeah. CJ got it. Yeah, he made a nice play last week. Really, shot the gap, did a great job. Yeah, so CJ's always right there, and he's learning and growing, and he's a great kid. But he's talented, and Gabe's been involved too. Gabe's been involved. Gabe was up and ready to go. With Tommy being down, he had to be up and ready to go. When you coach, really, it's like you have to think one play, like who's one play away from going in there, and that's because that's reality.
And final question, Bill Landis, the podcast.
Go Birds.
Yes.
So the point of the stopper is just wondering how annoying, or maybe another word it might be, that the only thing between you guys and a shutout is a college kicker hitting a 50-something yard field goal.
Yeah, I mean, hats off to him, I guess. I didn't even know how long it was. It looked long, and it looked like it like barely trickled in too. But hats off to him, you know. And those are like I like to call luxury problems, you know, luxury problems. It's, you know, it is what it is.
Great, Coach. Thank you very much.